big thank you on behalf of everyone. Leaving behind will be tough act to follow.
Today, as I speak on behalf of the IS Association of Nagaland, I have the rare and unique privilege to write the APAR of a controlling officer in about 100 words. We are gathered here this afternoon to acknowledge the long and distinguished service of Dr. J. Alam, who demits office today as one of the longest serving Chief Secretaries of the state in good health and mind, a remarkable feat in itself. Every journey has a beginning, which Sir started some 3 decades ago when he joined the Indian Administrative Services on the 15th of September 1991 at the blooming age of 26. How he fared in the academy and beyond will be better known and most appropriately shared by his batchmate and colleague, Sentiyanger sir, as he speaks later in the program. Hailing from the bustling city of Amroha in UP, Sir Alam eventually landed in the quiet hills of Nagaland and has not only become a part and parcel of the state, but also a very dear son, an ambassador for the people of the state. In his long career spanning over 3 decades, Sir Alam has shown sharp administrative acumen in steering the affairs of the state in very challenging times and circumstances. Sir's postings in the remoter parts of the state, especially in districts like Pek, Mon and Tuensang, has always stood him in good stead to appreciate better the challenges and the issues in these parts when he later held more responsible positions in the government. I recall my initial association with Sir when he was the Chief Electoral Officer and I was a Deputy Commissioner. I found in him a colleague rather than a senior officer, a mentor rather than a taskmaster, and a guide who was willing to listen and offer help and support. Years later, charged upon with the responsibility as the head of the state bureaucracy following the untimely demise of the former Chief Secretary late Temjen Toy, Alam sir had to quickly don the heavy cap of the Chief Secretary during a rough time as the state was gradually crawling back to normalcy from a protracted period of aquatic COVID pandemic. But riding on his rich experience amassed over decades, Alam sir seamlessly assumed the office and provided a sharp leadership to a yawning vacuum that had been created. And since then, he has been the torch bearer for the state government, providing admirable captaincy and infusing sanity to the complex challenges that confront the state today. His keen sensitivity to the subtle social dynamics among the Naga communities has earned him a resounding record as a leader who appreciates all aspects before taking critical policy decisions. His cheerful relations with both senior and junior officers has earned him a fine degree of being a jovial master as opposed to a hard taskmaster. Getting the work done without having to really assert his authority and position reflected his shrewd managerial prowess. He has been a guide and mentor to all the junior officers, and the young IS officers in particular look up to him with high regard and admiration. Indeed, the IS Association of Nagaland is proud of him for being a source of light in the vast expanse of administrative realm and for steadfastly bearing the flag of the fraternity to fly very high. A very big thank you to Madam Huma for being the force behind the scene and a strong pillar to serve, enabling him to give his time and optimum service to the people of the state throughout his career. Thank you, ma'am. Dear sir, as you draw the curtains to a very decorated chapter of your life, I am very certain that this will only open up many other windows of opportunity for you to engage and contribute to the society in different ways, and your relevance will only grow bigger hereafter. On behalf of the IAS Association of the State, I extend my heartfelt thanks to you, sir, for your exemplary service and leadership, and wish you the very best that life has to offer as you make this ceremonious exit from your career service. Our best wishes and prayers will always go with you and your family. Good luck and good speed, sir.
I, on behalf of the IPS Association Nagaland, take this privilege to share a few words on the occasion of the farewell and retirement program of our respected Chief Secretary. The career of an IAS officer has always been aspired for and looked up to, among other things, for its growth, challenges, and diversity of work. As in other parts of the country, we have often admired and have been inspired by the life and works of many illustrious administrative officers, leaders and trailblazers in their own fields. And even in a frontier state like ours, from the early times of the Indian Frontier Administrative Services, we also have seen our fair share of able, distinguished, and celebrated IAS officers who have left an indelible mark and created milestones in the state and in the country. Dr. John E. Alam, sir, may well be placed among this distinguished circle. With diverse experience in some of the challenging districts of the state and in demanding times, he has been part of what is often regarded as the most critical and visible face of the government of Nagaland, as Home Commissioner, as Development Commissioner in the Finance Department, and as Chief Electoral Officer. He has also held responsible senior positions in various ministries of the central government. Though I never had the opportunity to work and interact directly under Sir, however, one small experience I had encountered with him I share in all humility. I was in the districts when Sir assumed the Chief Secretaryship, and immediately I remember he visited all the districts by road on a statewide tour and met and interacted individually with all the administrative, police, and other department officials and tribal bodies. This showed the commitment and vision he had for the state. We hope, sir, that what you had envisioned have been fulfilled to a fair or larger degree.
Today is a day of mixed emotions, like we express our gratitude for the invaluable contributions of an outstanding officer, and a tinge of sadness as we bid farewell to our respected Chief Secretary, Dr. Johnny Alam. On behalf of Indian Forest Service and the Department of Forest, it's my privilege to express our deepest appreciation and heartfelt wishes as you step into the next phase of your life, sir. Sir, you have shown us through your actions what it means to lead with integrity, dedication, and humility. You never took shortcuts to success. Instead, you demonstrated that true achievement comes from perseverance, hard work, and unwavering commitment to public service. Whether in remote postings or challenging assignments, you embraced every opportunity, never complaining about the situations but delivering. Your ability to adapt, innovate, and deliver under any circumstances has set a benchmark for all of us. Your leadership was particularly pivotal in guiding our critical externally aided projects like Nagaland Forest Management Project and the KFW project. As chairman of the High Powered Committee and Project Steering Committee of these projects, your visionary oversight and timely advice were instrumental in their success, so much so that they garnered appreciation from the Ministry of Finance. For this and for your unwavering support, the department and the association are almost grateful. Sir, as you step away from the helm of the administration, we also recognize the silent partners of your strength, your family. Behind your remarkable journey stands their unwavering support and sacrifice. To them, we extend our sincere thanks and warmest wishes. And we also take privilege in welcoming our new Chief Secretary, Sri Sentiyanger, sir. Sir, on behalf of IFS Association, we wish you a very happy and healthy second innings in your life. Thank you, sir.
It is with immense gratitude and heartfelt emotion that we, the Nagaland Civil Service Association, is on behalf of NCSA, I would like to say farewell to a truly remarkable leader, administrator, and cherished mentor, Dr. J. Alam IS, Chief Secretary of Nagaland. Sir, your tenure in Nagaland has left an indelible mark. Many of us fondly remember and recall your days as SU Civil Wakching and SU Civil PEC and Deputy Commissioner of Tuensang, where your dedication and compassionate administration was shown the true quality of administrative officer. This initial posting has laid the foundation of legacy of impactful leadership. You have served the state in different capacity and you have served the ministry in different capacity. And as Chief Secretary, you continue to innovate, notably by introducing mid-career training to NCS officers that has significantly empowered us to face the challenges and to carry out our assignments. Your leadership has consistently been defined by unparalleled clarity of vision, deep humility, and unwavering integrity. What truly set apart was your encyclopedic knowledge and absolute thoroughness. You didn't just understand the rules, you embodied the spirit of ethical and rule-based administration, consistently advocating for it. From the beginning, you have championed administrative reforms and people-centric governance, emphasizing on transparency, accountability, and efficiency. For us, especially for NCSA and for all the NCS officers, your approach to empowering officers has changed the working perspective and instilled confidence to NCS officers. You didn't just delegate, you built true capacities, instilled confidence, and provided a clear sense of purpose. Many of us can recall instances where your insight helped us navigate complex situations, teaching us how to think critically. You always lead from the front with a quiet and dignified strength, whether grappling with challenging times or driving ambitious developmental initiative in the state. Your calm demeanor, thoughtful decision-making, and profound understanding of the statehood as an unshakable pillar of strength.
It is an honor and privilege to stand here this afternoon on behalf of the Nagaland Police Service Association to bid a heartfelt farewell to our esteemed Chief Secretary, Dr. J. Alam, IAS, as he demits office and enters a well-deserved retirement. Sir's tenure as Chief Secretary has been marked by dedication, visionary leadership, and unwavering commitment to the welfare and progress of Nagaland.
Under his able leadership, the state has seen significant strides in governance, interdepartmental coordination, and institutional efficiency. The NPSA has had a distinct privilege of working closely under his guidance. Sir, your keen insight into the unique challenges of policing in Nagaland, your thoughtful and informed perspective, and your deep understanding of the complexities of law and order have all been deeply appreciated by the police fraternity. Your emphasis on interdepartmental cooperation fostered a working culture of unity and shared purpose, which greatly contributed to more responsive and effective governance.
On behalf of all the members of the Nagaland Secretariat Service Association, I bring warm greetings to everyone present here. I take this opportunity to congratulate our Chief Secretary, Dr. Jayalam, for retiring with admirable service record and in good health as well. All that he is as a man and as an officer has been said and dwelled upon by the previous speaker. So on this auspicious day, I would like to share and dwell on our experiences working as his staff and how he encouraged and motivated us. Sir, we the NSS family would like to convey that we are very humbled, and at the very same time, we are very proud to have been called the Chief Secretary's staff. You have endeared us by owning us up. We will always remember this and will try to live up to the name and this privilege with all subsequent Chief Secretaries as well. Sir, you have been a tall figure for us, and we are grateful for the guidance and wisdom extended to us over the years. I'm sure each and every member of the NSS shall remember the kindness you showed to us during our difficult times. Despite your busy schedule, your doors were always open for us. You were always there to listen to our problems and helped us through it all with such calmness and firm words of advice. You gave us protection, and most importantly, sir, you forgave our slip-ups. It is because of you that NSS is in a better position today than it was yesterday.
A very good afternoon. It is with great honor and heartfelt gratitude that I stand here before you on behalf of the Confederation of All Nagaland State Service Employees Association to bid a warm and respectful farewell to our outgoing Chief Secretary. Sir, today, as we mark your retirement from active service, we also acknowledge and celebrate a legacy that will remain each in the administrative journey in Nagaland. Under your visionary leadership, several critical and long-awaited initiatives for the welfare of state government employees were not only launched but successfully implemented. The Chief Minister's Health Insurance Scheme was operationalized, ensuring comprehensive medical coverage for employees, pensioners, and their dependents, a bold step in safeguarding their health and financial security. The Chief Minister's Universal Life Insurance Scheme was introduced, providing vital life insurance support to employees and bringing peace of mind to countless families. The successful implementation of e-pay bills and the personal information management system brought much needed transparency, efficiency, and digitalization into the heart of employee service management. Most notably, sir, during your tenure, the state government addressed one of the most pressing concerns of the employees community, the fulfillment of 55% DAD areas under the 7 ROP. Thank you, sir. Beyond these tangible initiatives, your deeper impact lies in the administrative reforms you champion. You consistently emphasize simplifying government procedures with a clear vision to reduce compliance burden on employees. Sir, your leadership has not only improved the functioning of the government machinery but has also restored faith and motivation among the government servants across all levels. You led not just with authority but with empathy, wisdom, and a sense of purpose that inspired all around you.
Much has been said by the earlier speakers about the so many good qualities of our retiring Chief Secretary. We solemnly bear witness to all that have been spoken about him. For me too, I would like to start with my personal experiences with our retiring Chief Secretary Nagaland by inviting you, sir, back to memory lane. The days you were in Tuensang as Deputy Commissioner. I was also there as SDOPW Taunoknu from August 1998 to August 2001, 3 years. Sir, if I'm not wrong, I think your DC Tuensang must be one of the most memorable and challenging posting amongst all other postings that you might have experienced in Nagaland. It was during one of the most turbulent times, can even say like being posted in battlefield. There used to be frequent factional clashes and killings. Despite the difficult times, where even the local citizens feared to go out of their houses freely, you handled the situation very efficiently, which is unforgettable even to this day, sir. Sir, I hope you also remember your visit to Tonoknu, trekking on foot from Noku to Sanglao, together with our then Honorable MLA, 57th Assembly Constituency, Sri Singdu, on 21st April 1999. On the same day, the visit of my Engineer Chief, Engineer Waichuba Ao, and his entourage coincided with your visit to Tonoknu. However, prior to the day of your visit, I had scouted the road from Tonoknu to Sanglao, 22 kilometers, and opened a couple of completely sealed gates which were guarded heavily by the VGs as well as by the national workers in some places, not to talk of removing the bamboo sharpened spikes placed in several locations, fully covering the road itself. Tonoknu town at the time was annihilated and abandoned for more than 3 years, ever since factional clashes took place in June-July 1996. So when I was posted there, I was overwhelmed by a mixture of feelings on seeing the state of Tonoknu town as well as the village in total ruins. What I actually want to convey here is that our retiring Chief Secretary sacrificed his time and energy by visiting even to these remote places to witness and take stock of the volatile situations that arose from time to time. What I have learned in life is that a person's true colors and capabilities can be assessed only through handling or facing difficult times and not through good times only. Sir, you have earned a lot of respect from the officers of your time in Tuensang, as well as public alike. It is a commendable job, and I personally believe that it will not go unrewarded, as good things come back to people who do good things. May good things come back to you too for the good service that you have rendered during your service career.
Last Monday, when I received the message that your Gather Association has been put in the program, travel program of our Chief Secretary for 5 minutes, I panicked. Thus, as the president of the association, it becomes my bonded duty to shoulder the responsibility. But while visualizing, standing, facing, and speaking in front of all the highest officers of the state, I don't know what to say, and that makes me more panicked. And again, I had 3 sleepless nights. And after a serious thinking, an idea struck me. Why not I write a poem for our most cherished and admired Chief Secretary? It took me 1 whole night to write this poem, and luckily, which was filtered by my son. Now, mastering all my courage, literally putting a marks on my face, deaf and dumb, shaking and palpitation so fast, I am standing here. Again, but whereas feeling proud that I am the one to be standing here representing my association and my own behalf, to share the thoughts through the poem with you, sir. This poem is dedicated to you by NSSA. I will recite the poem and conclude with that. Hope you will like it, sir. To our Northern Star, you guided us with steady hand, with vision clear and strong command. Through highs and lows, you led us through, a captain, firm, through storm and blow. You taught us more than tasks and charts, but how to relate with human hearts. Your words inspired, your actions spoke. A fire of drive that never broke. With humor sharp and wisdom deep, you sowed the seeds we now shall reap. Though time has come to part our ways, your legacy will light our days. No tuxedo or title could define the grace with which you drew the line between a boss and mentor kind. A rare and truly brilliant mind, our Northern Star. So here is to all that you have done, to battles fought and victories owned. Though doors may close, new paths await, and we'll be proud you shaped our fate. If every we in thought or deed fell short of what your role did need, please know our hearts held no ill will. We are grateful and we are still learning. Farewell for now, our hearts will miss the daily spark, the morning jest. But know wherever you may go, you have left a light that's sure to glow. Make a better place, hail the new world. Though it's plain, this world is beautiful. Pray that our spirits never tire. Create a new world with no fear. Together we'll cry happy tears. Be God's glow. Thank you. Dedicated to our Chief Secretary from Nagaland Stenographers Association.
I thank Program Committee to give this privilege to Grateful Association for get this great platform. I, on behalf of Nagaland Civil Secretariat Grateful Employee Association, would like to express our sincere gratitude to our outgoing Chief Secretary, sir, for your various contributions to be financially, physically, and mentally during the years of your service. We thank you, sir, for your mentorship and leading us by example. Your impact extends beyond the walls of this office and deeply into our hearts. As you begin the new journey, your legacy will live on through the countless work you have accomplished with your visions, dedication, and commitment to excellence. We, the Nagaland Civil Secretariat Grateful Employee Association, ask for your forgiveness for any shortcoming on our part during your tenure. And lastly, as we bid farewell to you, sir, we wish you nothing but the best in your future. May it bring you as much joy, fulfillment, and success as you have brought to us. Thank you.
I can just imagine that few years from now, we will be trotting the same path. From being a civilian to a bureaucrat, to again being a civilian, being amongst the people again is a journey which all of us have to complete. I have known Mr. Jane Alam since 95, 96, if I remember. I think our first encounter would probably have been in Dimapur, at the residence of the SP Dimapur, then SP Dimapur, Mr. Tripathi, during the troubled times. Somehow we've kept in touch, but we really got to work very closely in the past 2.5 years. The Chief Secretary's hat is a very difficult hat to wear. He has to balance the political leadership on the one side with the bureaucratic aspirations and ideas on the other, the public's demands, and also the demands of the various departments which come to his table. I can tell you from my experience, although I am not the Chief Secretary, but from my experience, the problem that we face, it can be compounded into 80 odd times more as the Chief Secretary, because he handles all of us together. I found in him a very calm personality, very measured in his words, always trying to give the right advice at any given point of time. None of us is perfect. Our advices do go wrong, but I think if an advice is given which is right at that point of time, I think it needs to be respected. Thank you, sir, for the advice that you have been rendering. I would particularly like to thank you on behalf of the Nagaland Police, all ranks of Nagaland Police, for having supported us at various times, without elections, during elections, normal duties, and having reposed your trust on the Nagaland Police to deliver goods. I hope Nagaland Police has not been found wanting. We would have committed mistakes, everyone does. If there are any mistakes committed, I, as the leader of the police force, would like to own up for any misgivings on that count. Yes, there are a lot of initiatives that you have taken. As young officers, when we join the civil service, the bureaucracy, we all have cherished desires of where we want things to go. All of those dreams and desires don't come true, but I hope a lot of yours would have come true. I have seen transition to very good things happening in Nagaland, some of them which have been counted by my predecessors, like the CMHIS and the e-pay bill. I think things will continue further, things will look up. I wish you and ma'am a very happy, peaceful and healthy retired life. Do remember us in case you need any assistance. I'm sure you may not, but in case you need, all of us here and the Nagaland Police will always be there for any assistance, any help that we can render to you. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for whatever you have done for Nagaland, the people of Nagaland, and all of us in this gathering. Thank you very much.
I would like to put on record that after he took over as the Chief Secretary, the first thing he told me was, Sunti, we need to construct a Chief Secretary's residential conference hall to accommodate the AHOD and HODs for emergency times, seeing the pressure he saw at his late Chief Secretary, Sri Temjen Toy, during the COVID war. So accordingly, with his plans, we proceeded with limited fund on war footing. He gave his constant suggestions and advices, but fund got exhausted. He then called me and asked how much we require. And accordingly, he gave the necessary funds to complete the project in 3 months' time. However, due to ULB, we could inaugurate on the 10th of June 2024, the Conference Hall of Chief Secretaries Residential Bungalow. On the very morning of this inauguration day, that day, I came to know about his PhD degree from the IIT Delhi. So I happened to get the first opportunity to address him as Dr. Jani Alam, IAS Chief Secretary, on that morning. So the past 4 years as Chief Secretary, it was indeed an opportunity to have related with you. Very cheerful memories as a professional and as a junior colleague. At times sharing our past days' experience abroad with our family, sharing similar experiences, and laughing aloud in your vast compound as if no one is there over a cup of tea. That was something to be remembered, sir. Thank, sir, for your company and always guiding me through my works. My sincere thanks to your beloved wife, Madam. Thank you for taking care of our Chief Secretary along with your 2 beloved kids. God bless you and cherish your next dreams of your retired life. Thank you.
Request the incoming Chief Secretary, Sri Sentiyanger Imchen IAS, to take a moment to hand over the token of state presentation to the outgoing Chief Secretary, Dr. J. Alam, and his lady wife. Sir, your impact in our professional lives and to the Nagaland government in particular will have a long-lasting impression in the days to come. Special thanks to his lady wife for being always there, for her patience and supporting Sir and his journey as Chief Secretary. Now the time is given to the DGP for presentation. I call upon the IAS Association to present their token.
It is indeed a privilege and an honor to be speaking here today on behalf of the state government to bid farewell to Dr. Jani Alam, the Chief Secretary of our state, who also happens to be my batchmate and a dear friend. I first met Dr. Jani Alam at the Academy in the month of August 1991. he was allocated the Nagaland cadre, and over the years has served the state and the government of India in various capacities with sincerity and distinction. As a batchmate, colleague, and friend, allow me to be a bit informal and share a personal anecdote. Jani Alam caused a sensation the first time he came to the academy and also in Nagaland. The credit for this must go to the newspapers for misspelling his name as Jain Alam. Some of our more adventurous batchmates found out what time he was coming to the academy. And they were there in person to receive him and get a glimpse of the lady with a Western name. What their reaction was on seeing Dr. Jani Alam, I do not know. I was not part of the reception party. Back home in Nagaland, even before reaching Nagaland, before reaching the state, he was making sensational news. His name gave rise to the impression that two owls had got into the IAS that year, Alam and Imchen. Here's the cake, icing on the cake. When he finally landed in Nagaland, I have on good report that many a senior were disappointed that the lady had somehow, on his way from Delhi to Nagaland, had transformed into a gentleman. That's what you may wanted, so there you are. Dr. Jani Alam has served the government of Nagaland and the government of India in various capacities for about 34 years with distinction. During these 34 years, he served in many departments and organizations. And today he retires as the Chief Secretary of the state of Nagaland, the highest bureaucratic post in the state. He is also one of the longest serving Chief Secretaries of our state, as mentioned earlier by our chairperson. There are many accomplishments to his name, but for the sake of brevity, and since time does not permit me to mention all of them, let me just list some of the initiatives that he started after he became the Chief Secretary. First, seeing that many government employees after retirement were made to chase after their pension papers, he took measures that ensured that employees got their pension papers processed 6 months prior to their retirement. Now it is possible that pensions are settled and sanctioned before the date of retirement, and many have benefited. Secondly, he has conceptualized and launched the Nagaland Solar Mission, dovetailing the Prime Minister's Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana with additional subsidy from the state government, ensuring that residential households are able to contribute to solar power generation and also monetize such potential. He has been instrumental in conceptualizing the launch of a special initiative, the Nagaland Skill Mission, to train and provide employment opportunities for at least 5,000 youth in sectors such as hospitality,
tourism, banking and insurance, construction, healthcare, logistics, and drone technology. The mission will bridge the gap between education and employability, offering skill loans backed by government guarantees and training. This will go a long way in tackling unemployment in the state and also, more importantly, reduce the state's dependence on labor from outside. As government servants, the spotlight often falls on us, but the sacrifices are shared by our families. Today, as we celebrate the career of our Chief Secretary, we also express our heartfelt appreciation to his late wife, Mrs. Uma, who has stood by him and is a source of strength and encouragement. Ma'am, your understanding, patience, and sacrifices have played an equally important role in enabling our Chief Secretary to serve the people of this state with such commitment and focus. We thank you for walking this journey alongside him, sharing both the burdens and the joys of public service. Over the years, Dr. John E. Allen has held many important positions, but it was in the role of Chief Secretary that his leadership shone the brightest. He led from the front with utmost sincerity, clarity, and commitment. On behalf of the state government, I express our deepest gratitude to you, sir. May your next journey be filled with peace, good health, and continued opportunities to serve the nation in different capacities. We wish you and your family the very best in all your future endeavors. Thank you.
As I stand before you today with a heart filled with gratitude, humility, and reflection, today marks the closing of a cherished chapter in my life as I retire and formally demit office after more than 3 decades in the service of this extraordinary state. At the outset, let me extend my heartfelt thanks to all of you for your thoughtful and touching speeches and precious presentations that you have bestowed on me. I am deeply honored by this gathering, organized not merely as a formal farewell, but as a moment of shared remembrance, professional camaraderie, and heartfelt celebration of our collective journey in public service. It is said that the greatest journey is the one that brings you home. For me, Nagaland has not merely been a posting. It has been a home, a calling, and an enduring inspiration. The terrain, the culture, the challenges, and above all, the people have shaped me as a civil servant and also as the individual that I have become. And as I take this final bow, I do so with humility and immense pride. It seems only yesterday that I joined the IAS in 1991 and got allotted to Nagaland cadre. My friend Sentiyanger just mentioned the interesting part. So I might like to just add what happened after that. So, as he mentioned, our very senior colleagues, very senior people, they were all waiting with great anticipation to receive a lady officer. So I didn't know this. I didn't know that they were getting confused with my name. So like a shy probationer, I went to call on them, and their immediate hostility really surprised me. And I started wondering, what is it? Why are they so hostile to me? So only later on, my friend Sentiyanger told me that they were actually expecting a lady officer. So that is on the lighter note. But the fact is that my name perhaps was a godsend, because Alem sounded like a very familiar name in Nagaland. And to top it all, you see, as a Muslim, Alam and Banu are all very common Muslim names. So I also imagined that I am going to a familiar place. So, but anyway, they say, what is in a name? It doesn't really matter. It's the work that we do here that is important. As I reflect on my journey for the last 3.5 decades, I remember when I came face to face with the ground realities of Nagaland, the strength and warmth of our people, and the complexity of the challenges that governance must rise to meet. That actually shaped me as an officer. And over the years, I have had the honor of serving as has been mentioned in both the center and the state levels, and I have got support from the state government, the officials, the various tribal bodies, the service associations, and from student bodies, and from all walks of life. And I feel really grateful that everybody has supported me, has stood by me in difficult times and in dealing with the problems of the state. This tenure of Chief Secretary, and maybe a year before that when I was Additional Chief Secretary and working with the Honorable Chief Minister, I recall many defining moments of that time. As we all know, we were in the thick of the COVID period and situation was very, very tense and uncertain. All other activities of the government were almost like not functioning, but we were in a war-like situation. So that was the time when we were steering the state through that uncertainty. We have seen many other developments after that, whether it is in terms of dealing with the natural calamities, the climate change, the challenges in agriculture, the challenges in introducing digital governance in Nagaland. These are all challenges that I have tried to address in a small way. I do not know. It is too early perhaps to say that they have been very impactful, but I hope that in the future to come, the initiatives that we have put in place will be taken forward by all of you, and perhaps they will be good for the state. I will not go into what we have done in the past 5.5 years, but then Chief Secretary doesn't do things by himself. It is the departments who actually take the initiative, and my job as the Chief Secretary is to encourage good initiatives, support the officers, and help them in actualizing the ideas that they have. And that is how many of the initiatives that have been introduced during this last 4.5 years, I think the departments deserve all the praise, all the credit for that. I am being named just because I happen to be at the helm of affairs at that point of time. So, the time that we have gathered here today is a moment of mixed feelings. Sometimes one feels sad that I am leaving the state, but at the same time I draw comfort from the fact that this is a procession and we are all actually part of that procession. So there is a certain time where you are basically on display, and then your time is past, somebody else is there and it is his time. So like that, I think it has to be taken in our stride. When our time comes, we try to perform as well as we can, and that is what is one's legacy. So I'll remember my time in Nagaland. These are cherished memories. My achievement is not, I have been telling my officers also, my achievement is not counted in terms of how many files I signed or how many circulars I issued, how many meetings I conducted. That is not the achievement. The achievement is how much lasting change, lasting and positive change I brought, and how far it can go. So that has been my philosophy, that has been my motto, and I have worked with that. In the process of my work with all of you, I am sure there have been moments when I have been harsh with people sometimes. Sometimes I might have annoyed you by my words or my actions. So if you have felt hurt by my words or by my actions, I would say, please forgive me, because if I have been harsh on you, that's not because I dislike you, but that was in the interest of the state, and maybe under pressure that might have happened. There is no bad feeling in my heart against any one of you, just as I am sure you have no bad feelings about me in your heart. As I leave office, I do not carry just memories, I carry lessons. As many of you have said, change begins with listening. So you have to be a good listener if you want to really make a difference. A lot of things remain to be done, and I'm sure my successor, Mr. Sentiyanger, and after him, people will carry the torch forward and will continue to work for the good and welfare of the state. As a citizen, I remain committed to supporting the journey of this state and our nation in whatever way I can. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve Nagaland. This career has been more than a livelihood. It has been a life of meaning, and that in itself is a blessing few are fortunate enough to receive. I only hope and pray, and this is also my advice to all of you, the kind of support, cooperation, and the hard work you have displayed while I was at the helm, please continue that spirit and provide the same support, cooperation, and hard work to my worthy successor, so that the dream of Nagaland as one of the best states in the country will be achieved sooner than later. So thank you, dear colleagues and friends. You have given me more than I could ever repay. May your work remain inspired and your service to the people of Nagaland unwavering and true. Last but not the least, I wish to express my gratitude and sincere appreciation to the media fraternity. Their work often comes with personal sacrifices, and I take this moment to acknowledge their dedication, integrity, and positive contributions. Friends, one of our service associations recited a poem, and she spoke many good words about me. However, those were the sentiments that were being expressed from her side, from the side of people who are gathered here. But how do I feel? I wanted to convey through a poem, and it is not in English, so please bear with me. It's in Hindi, Urdu, so of course I've got the translation. If some of you are interested, I'll read out the translation also. The name of the poem is Alvida, means farewell. So it goes like this. गर्चे ये दुनिया हमेशा से यूं ही रंगीन है. This world has always been colorful. जोश के हैं वलवले, ये जिंदगी हसीन है. There is enthusiasm everywhere, and life is beautiful. लेकिन तबस्सुम सामने अंदर कहीं तहज़ीन है. किस लिए बोझिल हुआ, क्यों आज दिल गमगीन है. I am smiling, but there is some sadness in my heart. I don't know why I am feeling heavy in my heart and why I am feeling sad. खूबसूरत इस फ़ज़ा पर गम की बदली छा गई. आज तुमसे अलविदा कहने की मंजिल आ गई. The time has come to say farewell to you. अलविदा ए कोहिमा, मैंने वतन माना तुझे. O Kohima, I considered you my native place. अलविदा ए कोहिमा, मैंने वतन माना तुझे. हाय सद अफसोस के वक्ते सफ़र जाना तुझे. I came to know your true worth when I am leaving. है बहुत मुश्किल यहाँ से छोड़ के जाना तुझे। जिंदगी की हर कहानी पे है अब आना तुझे। In every story of my life, you will be there. जानते हैं वक्त नागालैंड का भी आएगा। I know the good times will come for Nagaland. आज जो बुनियाद है कल वो महल हो जाएगा। What is a foundation today will become a skyscraper. कौन थे वो अव्वलीन मजदूर पूछा जाएगा। Who were the first builders who built Nagaland? खास में मारों में शायद अपना भी नाम आएगा। Maybe my name will figure in one of the builders. मुतमई दिल हो गया जब आ गई ये आ गई, आज तुमसे अलविदा कहने की मंजिल आ गई। ऐ दिले अफसुर्दा अब तकदीर का मातम न कर। डोंट मोर्न, सरजमीने कोहिमा को छोड़ने का गम न कर। हम मिले या ना मिलेंगे फैसले बाहम न कर, फिर पुकारेगी जमीन उम्मीद अपनी कम न कर। दिस लैंड विल कॉल यू बैक। अलविदा है दोस्तों, तुम याद आओगे हमें। जानते हैं कुछ दिनों में भूल जाओगे हमें। हर तरह के हाल में तुम साथ पाओगे हमें। दौड़ कर आ जाएंगे जब भी बुलाओगे हमें। लाख ये चाहा कि टल जाए मगर लो आ गई, आज तुमसे अलविदा कहने की मंजिल आ गई। थैंक यू।